Hi. Well, obviously last weekend we didn't get started the way we wanted to. Ran into a real buzzsaw of a team, very talented, very well coached. I thought there was times in that game when we were on the cusp of getting back into it, but bottom line, we didn't make the plays. We gave up too many big plays on defense, didn't tackle well, couldn't get off the field on third down, and then offensively we did some good things. I thought we ran the ball effectively, but we couldn't be consistent enough. We shot ourselves in the foot early on with some penalties that hurt us, some drop balls that hurt us, and then you can't beat a good team and turn the ball over 4 times. So we got a lot of things to work on. We plan on doing that. We got a situation where we're playing an excellent Utah team that's very, very physical. Clearly you can tell they've been in the Pac-12 for a few years now. They've recruited well, very physical on both sides of the ball. They've got an experienced quarterback and some really outstanding wide receivers. Physical offensive line. On defense, Kalani Sitake has been the defense coordinator now for a while. They've been known to be a very physical defense, and this year's unit is no different. Really impressed with their edge guys. They do a great job of pressuring quarterbacks. Didn't see a whole lot last week from them, playing against Idaho State. But we know we're going to run into a very aggressive, Utah defense. Offensively, they've changed gears from a year ago with Dave Christensen as their offensive coordinator. We've gone against Coach Christensen the last couple of years at Wyoming. He's always done a terrific job with the spread offense, and they've really picked it up well, as attested to by the 50 points he put on last week. So we know it's a challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
Coach, how long do you take and focus on last week's game before you completely turn the page? I mean, you guys spend your time the next couple of days looking at stuff, or you kind of focus completely on Utah rather immediately?
Well, this morning we had meetings with our players, and we went through the corrections. Once those meetings are over, we're clearly on to Utah. We'll have a break. On a normal day, we'll meet in the morning. Our guys will go to class and come back in the afternoon. Today, without having classes, our guys will have a little bit of a break. We'll come back this afternoon, and we'll have about 45 minutes of meetings, and then right on to the field, put our Utah initial game plan thoughts in. You don't have the luxury of feeling sorry for yourself. Nobody does. You got to correct what you've got to correct. And the nice part is when you have a great challenge like Utah, guys are going to be focused. We need to get things corrected, and we need to get them corrected in a hurry. We can't ease into this season. We've got to get going now.
Coach, what will the quarterback plan be this week?
Probably the same. We'll play both of them definitely. We'll see this week. Each week we have different game plans and try to get the matchups we want and see where we can take advantage of schemes or personnel and see how each quarterback does with what we think they can do, and we'll make a decision. But both will likely play come Saturday, barring injury or something unforeseen.
Speaking of the quarterbacks, what was one of the good things you saw this Saturday coming from that position?
Well, I thought when Brandon came in, that first series taking us down the field, we're down 24, I think, at that point. Obviously a tough situation for a quarterback to come straight into, and led us right down the field. He made some tough runs, which is what we kind of expected out of him. Did a great job in leading our guys down the field. Brian, that first drive of the second half, did a great job just managing our team, making the right throws, making the right reads, extending time in the pocket. Did a really nice job. Again, the big thing is both quarterbacks turn the ball over, and we can't have that. So until somebody establishes that they can make those plays on a consistent basis and take care of the football, we'll probably play both.
Went back and looked at the film. What did USC do to make Tyler Davison pretty much a non-factor in the game?
Well, a lot of times they ran either away from him or he wasn't at the point of attack where he was going to be making plays. A lot of their pass game was some play action and maximum protection when it was going down the field or quick game. And so we didn't get great pass rush out of him. I don't think they designed their game plan around him, but just the way it plays out sometimes. When you're playing in the middle, sometimes the fans don't see the production or their stat sheet doesn't, but you grade the film and you think, wow, man, that guy took up blocks to free people up. When you're defensive end, if things are going away from you, you're not necessarily going to be at the point of attack. So it was a little bit more of that he didn't have as many opportunities, to make plays.
Some of those quick passing games, when you throw those bullets and stuff, they were closing in really fast. Is that what was causing that? Was it just poor blocking on the other receiver's part, or were they just more physical?
Well, it was a few things. At times there was poor reads where we should not have been throwing the bubble. Their coverage dictated we should have been either running the ball or pulling it in the quarterback run. Other times we didn't block great, but we did a decent job blocking on the perimeter. But we've got to get better. At times, I don't know if you remember that the quarterback had a double clutch sometimes, so now the timing's thrown off, and now they've got time to react. So there was a few different issues there. I thought they did a decent job being physical on our receivers, and we've got to get more physical on our releases. And I'm sure Coach Antoine will get our guys getting better at that.
Coach, you made a change to the 2 deep at running back. Martez Waller officially listed as the starter. Can you just talk about that, and also what's the status with Josh Quezada because he's not on there?
Well, last week, Martez, I thought, really ran hard and deserved the opportunity going in this week to start. He provided a spark. He ran the ball really hard, caught the ball well, so he deserves a start. Josh has been banged up a little bit the last few weeks. Didn't get a ton of reps last week, and so we just felt it was best to play Malik and play Dontel.
Do you anticipate getting Kurt Scobie back in practice anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. He's still not within the protocols of getting into pads just yet.
And when Brandon came in the game, it seemed to inject energy, really on both sides of the ball at that point. I mean, big picture now, we see the 3 interceptions. Maybe it wasn't what it seemed. Is it hard to read too much into it, too, because at that point it was 24-0, and it wasn't the same as the start of the game would have been?
Yeah, there's 2 different thoughts on that. He came in, you're down 24-0. I mean, that's a tough position to go in, or it's, hey, the pressure's off. So it's, I don't know how you read that. But the fact that he drove our team down the field, I think it energized our entire team. We got a stop on defense. For the first time we had a takeaway. Had the ball in good position, but then we gave it right back. And he threw the ball late down the field. You can't do that against a good defense. We get another stop. I thought our defense didn't play particularly well, but in that sudden change situation, we got the ball back, and then we ended up giving it right back to him on I don't know if that was the tip ball or the one that we threw the shallow cross in 94 pick. But, those are things he'll learn from. I think both quarterbacks, showed some signs that they can understand the offense. We've got to get better, clearly. And I think with more reps, they will. Seeing this tape, seeing, the plays that they could have been made will help them, and they'll learn from it and hopefully play much better this week.
What's going to be the determining factor in who you start at that position Saturday?
We'll see how the guys practice this week. Again, both of them have similar skill sets, but yet unique. And so if we feel that the advantages of playing one versus the other against how we anticipate Utah is going to defend us, we may go with one or the other.
And is there a scenario, barring injury, that we would see someone besides those 2 taking a snap?
No. I mean, barring injury, we're going to go with those 2 guys.
What did you see? You said it was kind of hard to get anything out of that, especially playing a team like Idaho State. What did you see from Utah, maybe offensively and defensively?
Well, offensively, they're going to run a spread system, which Coach Christensen's run since his days in Missouri. They're going to spread you out with really skilled athletes. I think they're physical up front. They get some movement. Idaho State played some defensive structures similar to what we do, and so blocking-wise, schematically, I think it was a good tape. But compared to some of the things that Coach Christensen said in the past, it was a little bit of a watered-down version, which you would anticipate with a brand-new system in the first game. But they were very, very effective in running it, and they didn't exactly get slowed down. You saw 2 a little bit distinct game plans between when Wilson was in the game versus the other quarterback, Thompson, and so you got a little bit of a feel for that. Defensively, they were extremely physical, and you can see guys with some great push. They're going to play a lot of closed middle coverage, or they're going to play some man free and get after guys. We've got some physical linebackers that run well, and it's tough to run it on that defense. They got some stout guys up front.
How do you fix the missed tackles on the perimeter, especially in the secondary? I mean, it's not so, Do you
It-
really
it- well-
practice that? How do you address that?
Part of it's fundamentals, and continuing to drill the fundamentals. Part of it was they had some very explosive players, and I'm hoping we don't see a ton of guys like those guys. Like 9 and 15 and 2. They were pretty good last week. The other part of it is you got to get multiple guys to the point of attack and taking good angles. On the one hitch, we had a great call going into it. Our corner that should have forced the ball back in let the ball out, which is unexcusable. Because of that, our safety takes a bad angle, anticipating it come inside, and then the guy had a great burst, and so we end up missing another tackle. Based on guys having faith where that ball's supposed to be, and it didn't get done. So it's a matter of, again, making sure our guys understand the fundamentals of proper defense and drilling it and repping it, and if they can't get it done, finding someone who can.
You had Swanson doing the kickoffs on Saturday, correct?
Correct.
That was a switch from a year ago with
Yeah, during camp, Garrett's really done a nice job of placing kicks as well as having a really strong leg. We were able to direct the kick in different spots this year, and I think you look at, again, one of those bright things that one of the few bright things we had on Saturday was our kickoff coverage compared to a year ago. We're playing an explosive USC team. Aguilar, taking kicks to the house a year ago. I think their average starting position off of kickoffs was around the 20-yard line. And, you make them go the long way. They were able to do it, unfortunately, but you give yourself a chance if we can continue to cover kicks like we did on Saturday. And Garrett's a big part of that. He did a nice job with hang time and placement.
The last time Fresno State and Utah played was 15 years ago, and it was right after the Mountain West split off from the WAC. So these are two teams that thought they had been on the same level for a long time. It was a one-point game. It was bitter at that time. Now you see Utah as a Pac-12 program because, in large part, of what Coach Whittingham has done, and maybe having the Olympics there didn't hurt. But do you look at what Utah's done and where the program is now, the position that it's in, and say there's something Fresno State can learn from that with where the Bulldogs hope to go?
Yeah, I think clearly. You look at what they've done at Utah, TCU. Those are programs that were just like us, but kept improving, kept beating teams on the field, and earned their right to get into a Power 5 conference. And you'd love to try to do that here at Fresno State. I think everybody in our conference would like to be able to do that, to see what it's like to play against the big boys. And I know our players relish these kind of opportunities. We didn't take advantage of our opportunity on Saturday, but thankfully we've got another one to hopefully show people that what we showed on Saturday is not the 2014 Bulldogs, that we've got a lot more football in us.